But it's so.
Hello, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're enjoying your lovely evening with your loved ones and having a good time. Yeah, I sound stuffy, right? I know. It's been a rough few days. I'm actually not in Jamaica right now. I'm all the way in Belize, and I am just crossing my fingers that this internet connection is gonna hold. And that's the reason we're late this evening. It hasn't been a good evening for technical issues for the show today, particularly because I've been traveling. I tested this connection earlier today and it was working fine. And now all of a sudden, the internet just decided that it is going to be slow today. But I'm hoping that you guys are having a great evening. We have a really fun show in store for you. And there is a possibility that I may chip in and out. And I'm hoping that you will bear with me and we try get the show on the road because it's such a fun show that we have. It's our Valentine's Day couples edition. But in the meantime, let me know in the chat where you're joining us from. And do we have our segments? I'm not sure if we have our segments yet. Let me just check here with the producer. Do we have, just type it for me. Type it for me. Do we have, all right, it's loading. Yeah. So in the meantime, let me take some of your comments and see where you're joining us from. I'm even happy that I actually have a voice because a few days ago I did not have a voice at all. Like I couldn't even talk. So now I sound stuffy, I sound hoarse. And I'm here in Belize hosting a 2-day conference sounding like this. So imagine, don't blame it on my birthday weekend either. My birthday was last weekend, was Saturday. It was an amazing weekend, but I was already sick that weekend. So it's not because of party too hard or anything. It just happened to be this way when everything's going on. So let's pick up some of the viewers that we have here. Rodcliffe Green says Portmore in the house. Demar, as usual, is ready and waiting. Who else we have? Antoinette says, good night. Arizona is ready and waiting. Antoinette is always one of our faithfuls, always there in Arizona. Anthony as well. Where's Anthony joining us from? Anthony says, Portmore in the building. Ooh, we also have London in the house tonight. Dwayne is joining us from England, London here ready. He says, soon fall asleep, but I'll continue to listen in the morning on my commute to work. Go make that money. I love that, Dwayne. Make sure you find it anyway, anytime, any place. Emmanuel says St. James in the building. And Stronglink is saying, hello, all of you. Orville wanted to know, where is the host? Here I am. Not 100%, but I'm still trying to be here with you. Well, let's take a look at what's coming up in the show, followed by what's hot in business.
Money is one of the trickiest things to talk about in a relationship. Are these couples on the same financial page? It's our Valentine's Day Couples Edition, and the Analysts weighing on the latest market developments. NCB Financial Group Limited first quarter net profit attributable to shareholders dipped by 68%. Wow! And Express Catering's latest quarterly results are out. How did they perform? But first, here's what's hot, brought to you by JMMB Group, your best interest at heart. The Sagicor Foundation says this year's Sigma Run raked in a record $91 million. The foundation, which is the charity arm of the Sagicor Financial Group, had set a target of $75 million for its 25th staging of the event. Dubbed the Legacy Run in honor of its silver anniversary, all proceeds raised from the charity race will go to the 2023 beneficiaries, the University Hospital of the West Indies Pediatric Unit and the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. Over 21,000 people registered for the event, which included run, walk and wheelchair participants. This year's sum brings the total amount raised by Sigma Run over the years to more than $640 million. Lighting distributor Fosrich has has signed an agreement with microfinance company Access Financial to provide financing for solar and other alternative energy solutions. The partnership will see qualified individuals receiving up to 100% financing with up to 5.5 years to repay. Access will provide financing for alternative energy solutions, mainly solar panels, solar water heaters, lithium-ion batteries, and hybrid inverters. Fosrich recently announced a similar partnership with Dollar Financial to provide up to 90% financing for solar products. VM Group is changing things up by establishing a new business structure. The company recently launched the VM Group Limited, a mutual holding company which will act as a parent to the newly formed VM Financial Group and VM Innovations. VM Financial is the parent company of all the financial businesses in the group, including VM Building Society, VM Investments, and VM Wealth Management, etc. VM Innovations is the non-financial holding company of the group and oversees VM Property Services. The company said restructuring will help facilitate greater resilience and more sustainable growth and innovation. Sunday's airing of Super Bowl 57 is said to bring in a record $600 million in ad revenue. According to Fox Corporation, which owns Fox TV stations, it sold out all its advertising slots, with companies paying between $6 to $7 million for a 30-second slot. Advertisers normally shell out big bucks for airtime during the Super Bowl, which is one of TV's most viewed events. The final numbers have not been released. However, Fox said it expected over $600 million in gross revenue from the event. What's Hot was brought to you by JMMB Group, your best interest at heart. This segment of Taking Stock is brought to you by Bulwark Insurance Agency, insurance made easy.
Just 2 hours with me can change your life, but don't take it from me.
Why I decided to buy Kalila's masterclass, which is, for me, was a game changer.
I'm Kalila Reynolds, financial journalist and educator, and I'm on a mission to help you get better with money. Take my all-new Money Mission Masterclass. We're talking about budgeting.
My top things today were about budgeting and investing.
We're kicking bad debt out the door.
And I also learn about how to pay off your credit card debt.
And I'm giving you the keys to wealth creation by helping you getting started with investing.
This masterclass helped me to start my investment journey.
I had so many takeaways.
The way that I look at money now and saving, I look at it different now.
With a bonus module from Keisha Bailey, my girl, the Profit Jumpstarter, who'll show you how to find great companies to invest in.
I've been in the investing industry now for over 18 years.
So give yourself the best gift. Go to KalilaReynolds.com/masterclass to join the Money Mission. Let's get this money. Let's, oh, I hear my voice. Oh, frog in my throat. Let's get this money. Let's get this Valentine's money, right? Okay, so we have a very special edition of Taking Stock tonight. You watched the Newlywed Game, right? You've seen it. I love that show. Well, it's kind of the same concept because last year we did this show for Valentine's Day and you guys really loved it. So we're bringing it back again. Today we have two couples battling it out for our lovely prizes. So couple number one and couple number two will go up against each other by answering questions about their spouses. And these are mostly money questions, right? So not just any questions about how they manage money. So let's see if they're financially compatible. So I'm going to read out the question and both couples are going to guess how their spouse would answer the question. And then we're going to select the answers. Well, we're going to give them options. So it will be multiple choice questions. So we ask them A, B, C, or D, and then they have to flip around their paper and see if they got the same answer. The couples will be given just 2 seconds to select the correct answer. So you better write fast. And then they're going to flip it over for all of us to see at the same time. And if their answer matches, then that couple gets a point. Okay. So it's time for us to meet our couples. Couple number one is Shannon Stedford and Alton Lawrence. Welcome, Shannon and Alton. Welcome to Taking Stock.
Hi, thanks for having us, Kalila.
Yes, it's great to have you. So I am having some connectivity issues I just ask you to bear with me with there may be a little delay in terms of how you see me and how I hear you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so we've been together for quite some time. In a few weeks, it will be our 10-year anniversary. So that's something to celebrate. Funny thing is, when we first met, I did not like him at all. And we have a son together, the most wonderful kid in the world.
Oh,
Anything you have to say? No? I'm the more talkative one in the relationship.
interesting. So you didn't like him, but did he like you? Well, you tell us, Alton. Did you like her?
Very much.
So you pursued her and you eventually got her, and now you're together and you have your son, and now you're on the show. So, yes, we're about to see how financially compatible. I love this picture, how financially compatible you both are. Let's meet couple
You
number two,
see.
Christoph James and Yannick James. Christoph and Yannick, how are you?
We're
Very
fine.
well.
Great to meet you. So, tell us how you met.
You want to?
We met at a church
Meeting.
meeting. Yes, we met at a church meeting, and we somehow ended up on the same committee. And from there, a friendship started. And from a friendship lead to a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. And we got married last year, December. So we're basically celebrating 2 months
2 months.
together. Yes.
Well, happy 2 months anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so it's about time that we get to see if you guys are financially compatible. Interesting photos. I love watching your slideshow. All right, so first of all, so our first segment, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And this is going for, all right, I think we're going to do one couple at a time. So this is going to be first for our first couple number one, Shannon and Stedford. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions and let's see how many you get right. And then we'll move on to couple number 2. All right.
Sure.
So for Shannon and Stedford,
Okay.
let's read your questions. So let me open it on a different device so that I can see it more easily and see what you guys answer. So Shannon and Stedford, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. All right. All right. So this phone cost $1,000 US. You would say that this phone is
Birthday.
A, expensive, B, inexpensive, C, a bargain, or D, not a need but a want. Write down your answer quick.
Uh, What? That's not expensive. That is not expensive.
So there's a delay on my end, so I'm waiting to see. Okay, I see one
So,
response. This is messing me up.
are you?
Oh, this is messing me up. Connectivity issues are messing me up. All right. Did they get it right? Because
So
I can't
my
see. The
answer
couple is
is
frozen.
his is A. That's not expensive. 'Cause that's what That's what we're gonna pay for my phone. Okay. What's gonna say it's expensive? So I have B and he has A.
I didn't see his answer. What did he write?
He says it's
He held it up. I didn't see his answer.
A. He had A.
So you said B. He had A and you said B. All right. So you didn't get that point. All right. So I'm being told that's me.
Yeah.
I'm doing this thing wrong. And I was supposed to have the men answer first. All right. So let's do it this way. So that was a test. That was a warm up. So now you know what kind of questions we're asking. And producer, you're gonna have to help me out here and let me know what the answers are in the chat, in the private chat, because my internet isn't working so great. So that way I don't have this lengthy delay in figuring out whether they got the questions right or wrong. All right. So first we're gonna ask the gentleman questions about your wives.
Okay.
So you're supposed to write, how would the women respond? So it's just the men. No, it can't be just the men answering. Both couples have to answer, because that way we know if you got it right about your woman, right? So both partners have to answer at the same time. But this is a question, really. So, gentlemen, we're asking you the question, and we're asking, how would your wife answer this question?
Okay.
So really the onus is on you, gentlemen. You have to get it right. You have to write the same answer as your wife has written. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're starting over now. That was the first one. So here's the first question for both couples. I had no cash, so I paid by blank. A, gift vouchers. B, charm. C, credit card. D, dividend checks. What would she say? She didn't have cash, so she paid by gift vouchers, charm, credit card, or dividend checks. How would she pay? Charm, no? Interesting. Well, all right, so couple number one both said
Yeah.
C, so you both got it right. Couple number two, what did couple number two say? A and B. So she said B and he said A, so no point for you, couple number two. Couple number one is in an early lead. So you say you pay by dividend check.
What is
Couple
this?
number one, credit card. And probably the easiest if you don't have the cash, right? But charm, I mean, hey, just bat your eyelashes. You get where you are. You know how that go. All right, second question. This is also for the men. You're answering, how would your wife answer this question? My wife just won 52 million Jamaican dollars in the lotto. How would she spend the money?
What?
A, investing in stocks. B, real estate. C, a house renovation. D, a lifetime vacation. Well, it just says a vacation, but I mean, the vacation of a lifetime, I should say.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Where's the camera?
I hear lots of laughing.
Wait for it. What's going on here?
Let me see the answers. I can't see yours. Couple number one, that's your wife's answer. Move it over so we can see it properly. Okay, couple number two, no, that's not it. Couple number one, you both said D, vacation of a lifetime. So you know each other quite well.
Yes.
Couple number one, couple number two, she said a house renovation. You thought real estate. At least you're kind of in the same ballpark. One's gonna fix up the house, one's gonna buy a house. Okay, so couple number one has an early lead. Couple number two, you got to step it up. All right, next question. Also for the guys. Finish this sentence. Every time my wife goes shopping, she brings home another blank. A, makeup product. B, press-on nail set. C, outfit or shoes. D, set of groceries. Feel like these answers biased. You could have put in some stuff for the kids in their houseware. Yeah, A, makeup. B, nails. C, outfit. D, groceries. 3 out of the 4 answers have to do with appearance.
Alright, we see what good.
All right, let's see. Couple number one said C. You come back with your outfit and shoes. Couple number two says, all right, I'm seeing the gentleman's answer. He wrote C. And the lady, I can't see what she wrote. Tell me what she wrote. Guys, producers, if you're hearing, you can just turn on your mic and just tell me no. Make it easy for me. Did couple number two get it right?
Yeah, we did. Put up back your hand.
Yeah, they did. See, shop.
Okay, good.
Every female loves
Those couples
shopping,
got this
buying
one
clothes
right.
and shoes.
And you all said outfit. You all said outfit.
Yes.
Okay, so we have some hot girls in the competition today. All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, next question. Another one for the guys. How would your wife approach you for some money? I love this question. Okay, woman, how do you ask a man for money? A, after some naughty time, she would ask. B, she'll just take it out of my wallet. C, she'll wait for a good time to bring it up. Or D, she wouldn't ask because she got her own money. What would I do?
All right, let's see.
This is a good one.
You're challenging the marriage, Kalila.
Really?
I hope you can see that.
Wifey said, A, after naughty time, probably said B, she'll just take it out of my wallet.
Wait, what was the again?
Couple number two, what did you guys say? I couldn't see it.
What's good?
Really?
I
can't
couldn't see the
hear
answer.
you.
What did you guys say?
Maybe you would have asked.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that's true, too. I can
So you don't take money out of his wallet? Shannon, you don't take money out of his
No,
wallet?
she
Alton,
would
has she
A,
ever
she would-
taken
she
money
would
out
A.
of your wallet? Why is that?
I do. I ask first though. No, oh no, I don't ask. I say, hey, I'm taking it, and I'll take it, but I don't just like take it.
good girl. Good girl.
But you know, the best time to ask is in his weakest moment.
Or you say, hey, or you tell him after you took it, like, oh, by the way, I took some money. What did couple number two say? I still didn't see their answer.
D and
The producer,
C.
step in for me and tell me what couple number two said.
C, B, and C. Wow.
B and C. Okay, so you guys didn't get it right. So you got your own money, huh? You wouldn't bother ask. So that used to be me. I used to be like, I'm not asking, I have my own money.
Yeah.
Now I'll probably be asking. I'll wait for a good time to bring it up. I don't even have to be wait. You just, bring it up whenever.
Sending yours.
Hey, I know he got my back, right? Yeah, got my back.
Yes.
Or I'll just take it and tell him if I took some money.
Right.
That happens sometimes too. Just so you know, just so you don't expect, you go out and you think you have money in your wallet, not realizing somebody took it. Just out of courtesy, I'd be like, babe, I took some money.
Yeah. I agree.
It doesn't happen often though, just to say.
I don't approve.
Yeah, because I'd be mad if I went out thinking I had 10 grand in my purse and
I
then
have my
somebody
money,
took
but
it.
I like spending.
Not that I don't mind sharing. Yeah, exactly. You have your money. But, just courtesy. All right, next question. Also for the husbands. We'll move on to the wives. So husbands, what do you think? Another one about to cause some problem. All right, what do you think your wife's ideal monthly salary would be? A, 500K Jamaican. B, 200K Jamaican. C, 1.5 million. Or D, 1 million Jamaican dollars. What's your wife's ideal monthly salary?
I don't splurge. I really don't splurge.
Wow.
So
I don't even know. All right, you know what?
So, the one with the highest amount.
Okay, I see couple number one
Oh my
said C
god.
and C. Couple number two said B and B. All right, so you both got the answer. So
Yeah.
C, see, you went for the highest. I would have said the highest too, 1.5. Ideally, I
Yes,
mean, what? And then he said B,
you know that I
200K.
love
That's all you want
money.
for your monthly salary? Okay, so that's okay. So how much is his ideal monthly salary then? If you're
That's
making
a different
200K,
story.
I think you haven't said
that's a
500K.
different story,
For the
right?
month.
Yeah.
You want
All right, this is gonna be the last question for the
like
men before we move
1.5.
on to the women because time is going. So last question for the men. What is
Mhm.
your wife's biggest fear about money?
Mm.
A, she doesn't have a fear. B, it doesn't last long. C, she doesn't know how to invest. D, inflation. What is your wife's biggest fear about money? I remember you guys need to flip at the same time. No cheating.
Okay.
Producers, you guys can intervene, turn on your mic at any time, and put these couples in their place if you need to. But you're hiding his answer. I can't see what his paper says. Move it over to the side, please.
D.
All right, you both said B, couple number one, and couple number two have D and B.
It's not working.
So, point for couple number one. The couple number one is in the lead. Can
It
you give
never
us
lasts long.
producers? Can you tell me what the score is right
Right.
now? I know couple number one is in the lead. Can you give us what the score is? Because we're heading over to the ladies next.
I don't
Tell us
even
what's
know
the
you
score.
now.
All right.
I don't even remember about
One
score.
was 1 and 5. How many points they have? I'm not sure what these points here mean. Is this right and wrong? As you said, couple 1 and 5.
So
Oh, couple number one has 5 points. Couple number
yes,
two.
has 2 points.
Oh my.
So couple number one is in the lead with 5 points. Couple
All
number
right.
two has 2 points.
All right. Good. Let's go. So now it's time for ladies to answer questions about their men. So let's see if the ladies know the men just as well
I'm
or
gonna
as
try to
poorly
answer for you
as
and
the men
me.
know the women. All right. Let's see. Wife answering questions. Okay, here we go. So here's the first question for the wives. Honey, the house is burning down. It's a good thing we have blank. A, home insurance. B, nothing. We're screwed. C, other houses. D, each other. Well, I see some people not sure. All right, couple number one both said D, each other. Couple number two.
That's exactly what he would say when I am there.
Not each other.
Not
Not each other. Not each other.
You think that's exactly what he would say.
Listen.
You thought that's exactly what
You
he
need
would
somewhere
say.
to live, yeah?
The man said, good thing we have insurance.
That's
Oh, you guys are making me cough now. And I feel fine, you know. So even though I sound stuffy and I've been coughing, I actually don't feel sick. Like I don't feel popped down and tired and stuff. It's just
Okay.
lingering effects of whatever it is that I caught from my kids again. Yeah. So all right. So let's look at our next question. You still have time to redeem yourselves, guys.
Right.
my
Next
answer,
question.
not yours.
But you love me.
The light bill is too high because my wife does a
Hold on, could you
sleeps with
repeat?
the TV on. All right. The light bill is too high because
Okay.
my wife blank
Yeah.
sleeps with the TV on. B, doesn't turn off the light when she leaves her room. C, always leaving things that aren't in use plugged in. Or D, the light bill isn't high at all because my wife is awesome and she doesn't use lots of light.
Mercy.
Ready?
Yeah.
Believe ever like that.
Couple number one, the
You know that
gentleman said
I
B,
knew
light bill is not high. And the
Yes,
wife said B, he don't turn off the light when he leaves the
the same
room.
as us.
Couple number two, both also put D and B.
You
So neither
always
of you got
time
this
and
one
turn the
right,
lights off.
unfortunately. So,
you never need
gentlemen,
to
y'all don't know. So the woman be leaving the lights on. That woman was
Yes.
left the iron plug in,
You don't want to
use too much
yeah,
curling
like
Yeah,
iron,
but I don't
wash
need
too much.
that.
Every minute you wash, the washing machine in use. All
Oh
right,
boy.
next question for the wives again. I'm the breadwinner. Listen. This is for the wife. Wait, am I reading the right thing? Yes, okay. All right. I'm the breadwinner of the household, but my wife is a blank. I'm the breadwinner, so you the man, you're the breadwinner, the blank. Queen, that's A, queen. B, the glue that holds everything together. Or D, honestly, she can pull her weight some more.
I didn't hear what B was.
We
What was
didn't
B,
hear.
Khalid?
We didn't hear.
I didn't hear the
What was
option.
B?
All right,
Yeah,
all
the
right, here we
option.
go. All right, again. I'm the breadwinner of the household, but my wife is a blank. A queen. B, my world. C, the glue that holds everything together. Or D, honestly, she can pull her weight some more.
Why? So I go on so.
Couple number one answer is in.
That's what you think of
She
me?
says A.
Aw.
He says C. Both close enough.
I was gonna put C, you
Oh,
know.
and then
I know
it's
you
the
were
B
gonna
and
put
C.
C. I don't know
My
why you
world, the
didn't put
glue.
it.
So the
Mercy.
truth is, A, B, and C were really the same answer. The queen, my
Yeah.
world, glue that holds everything together. All those things really. I'm gonna give both of you that point. I'm
Oh,
gonna
bless
give both
God.
of them because I feel like A, B, and
We
C
need it.
really mean the same thing. So you both get the
I mean,
point. I was just
that's
looking
true.
for somebody to write D.
Mhm.
I was just looking somebody to write D. Honestly, she can pull some more weight. I knew neither of you
Aw.
gentlemen would dare to say D. You know,
We want happy marriages, you
where is
know?
that taking?
Happy
Yeah.
Where is the
marriages.
money makers? Man must mind woman, or woman must contribute? Should it be 50-50? I want to hear honestly in the comments. Man must mind woman, or should it be 50-50 or close? Interesting. All right, I want to see those comments. Next question for the woman. According to my husband, blank is too much money to spend on a car. A, $5 million. B, $3 million. C, $2 million. D, $10 million. How much is too much money to spend on a car according to your husband? 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, 10 million.
And
They both said
one
D.
car? No.
No, no,
No.
no.
And also, couple number two also said D. I was looking to see if anybody would say 2 million is too much to spend on a car, because then what kind of car you buying?
Right.
Right.
JMT is okay,
No.
but you both said 10 million. Okay. All right. So you both get that point. And final question now. My husband
But
says, question for the wives. My husband says blank is more responsible with our finances. A, I am the wife. B, he is the husband. C, we are both responsible for the areas one
great
falls
call.
short. Or D, we equally are.
We didn't hear that one, Kalila. We didn't
All
hear
right.
that one.
All right, let's go again. My husband says blank is more responsible with our finances. A, I am the wife. B, he is the husband. C, we are both responsible for the areas that one falls short. Or D, we equally are responsible with our finances.
Wait, what was that?
I am more responsible with finances.
Couple
I
number
am more
2 says DNA.
responsible.
Put yours more to the side. I can't see. Couple number 1. Couple number 1.
Right there.
Alton, I can't see your answer. It's off screen.
Bring
All right.
awares.
DNA.
Oh my
Couple number 2 has
Jesus,
DNA.
A and C.
CNA. All right, so you
The
both got
truth
it
is,
wrong.
I
You
am
both
more
got it wrong.
responsible. The
Interestingly,
truth is A. The truth is A. That is the truth.
interestingly, both
You got
couples,
that
the
one.
wife said that they are more responsible with money.
Yes.
And then the men, but none of the men said that they're more responsible. They both went, with the equal route.
Anyone for sure.
He's just trying to save face. We spoke about it.
All right, well, let's see who the winner is. And let's get producer. Can you please announce the final score and announce our winner?
Okay. Good job.
Good job. I don't think
Okay, so the final scores are couple number 1, the newlyweds, 4 points. Yay.
Yay.
No, couple number 2, I'm sorry, Yannick and Christoph, 4 points. And Shannon and Alton, 8 points.
Congratulations, couple number 1, Shannon and Alton. You have won yourself a lovely prize. Let me find out what the prize is. You've won yourself a gift certificate from JMMB to help you on your investment journey as a couple. We're going to give you the email address that you should reach out to in order to claim your prize. And also remember to collect your ID when you claim your prize. And we also wanted to tell couple number 2 that you've also won a prize. So congratulations to you too. You've won a $5,000 gift certificate from JN Fund Managers. And we're going to send you the email address that you should contact to collect your prize. And remember as well to collect your, to bring your ID. So congratulations to our 2 couples for participating. Thank you so much. It was fun. I didn't hear what you said.
We didn't hear our prizes. We literally we didn't hear what we won or anything.
Oh, okay. So couple number 1 has won a gift certificate from JMMB. So you're to help you along with your investment journey. And we're gonna be providing you with the email address to collect your prize. All right. You heard?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good. Awesome. And you both also win okay, yay, great game. I'm glad that you guys somebody said almost made a Steve Harvey mistake. Indeed, he almost did. I'm wondering, I'm like, I know couple number 1 had more than 4 points.
Yeah.
You kind of frightened me there for a minute. Yeah. I'm glad that the game is going well, despite the technical difficulties that I'm having here. But John Johnson says, great game. So thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for participating. And also, we want everybody to take our poll question for this evening. So here's our poll question. Interesting question. Should one person be able to take money from a joint account without the other's approval? So if you're a couple, married or living together, once you have a joint account together, you're a couple, you're in a relationship, and you have a bank account together, should one be able to take money from that account without the other's approval? So A, no, talk to me first. B, yes, it's our money together. Any of us can take out money. C, it depends on the situation. Or D, other. Let us know. This is tonight's poll. You can take the poll on our YouTube channel or on our Twitter page. And in the meantime, we're going to have our market recap, and we have the analyst standing by. All right, so market recap is still loading. So in the meantime, let me take some of your comments. Ian says, nope, all parties must agree. Where is it? All parties must agree on withdrawal from the account. This sounds like some SSL situation here. People taking money and yeah. So Ian says no. All parties must agree on withdrawal of the account. Elaine says it depends. So it depends on the situation. Christine says that's why it's a joint account. What do you mean by that, Christine? Meaning that anybody can just take at any time? I feel like personally, I feel like you should consult and just let the other person know. Maybe it's permit. Might not necessarily have to be permission, but I feel like when you have a joint account, it usually is for a specific purpose that you'd have that joint account. If you have just the one account for the two of you and you don't have individual accounts, then there needs to be some type of accountability. People need to know what's going on. Let me see what else we have here. Ms. Douglas says, congratulations to couple number one. A lot of you saying no, a few people saying yes, that you can. So Miki says you should be notified. So I feel that way too. It's pretty much like the question we asked earlier about whether you should be able, or whether women take money from your husband's wallet, right? Not that he would tell you no, but at least out of courtesy, just let him know that you took the money, so that he doesn't go there expecting it, right? Gamesley says yes, once it's for a good reason. And then John says no, approval must be had first. All right, we are still waiting on our market recap. So let's see what else we have. D. Griffiths, and this was a comment regarding our earlier question. Question was about who should have more say. What was the question? Not who should have more say. It had something to do with income. I think, let me find back the question. How much money? Oh, how much money is too money to spend on a car? Yeah, that probably would depend on the income, because some people might say 10 million is too much. But if you're making 100 million and your car payment, a $10 million car, it's probably going to be about $100,000, then maybe it's not too much, right? So let's see what else we have. Ms. Douglas says, number one, couple knows each other very well. They sure do. That's why they won. And what I'm going to do now, I think we should just go straight into the analyst segment, because we're still waiting on market recap to load. And I just want to hear what's going on with the analysts. So let's bring up the analysts. Let's introduce our analyst panel. Are they ready? Are the analysts ready? I said David standing by. And is Faye there? Yes, Faye is ready. All right, so let's go straight into the analyst, and we'll bring you your market recap at the end of the show. So, hi, David. Hi, Faye. Good evening.
Good night,
evening,
Kalila.
Kalila. Happy Love Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with Faye.
Okay.
I have two topics here, but I'm not sure which topic is whose.
I'm doing
Topics aren't
Express
labeled,
Catering.
so just let me know in the chat, in the private chat. You're doing Express. All right. So Express Catering has just published their latest quarterly results. And Faye, you've been analyzing it. Let us know what's going on with Express. What are the results looking like? And is it anything that we should be interested in right now?
Okay, thank you, Kalila. I'm ready to share my screen now. Are you seeing it as yet?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'll be looking at Express Catering. They recently released their second quarter financials for 2023. Okay, here are a few of Express Catering's beverage offerings at Sangsa's International Airport. They include, for example, Domino's, Cinnabon, Aunt Annie's, and DQ Grill and Chill, as well as local favorites such as Juicy Beef and Tasties. A short overview of ECL. ECL is a Jamaican subsidiary of Margaritaville Caribbean Group Limited, which was established in 2001 as a joint venture between MCG and Goddard Catering Group. The company was created to fulfill the food and beverage demands of passengers that depart through the Sangster International Airport, SIA. ECL also provides food and beverage offerings to the employees who work in various support services at that airport. They listed on the junior market of the stock exchange in 2017. Since 2011, ECL has been the dominant food and beverage partner at Sangsters and currently has exclusive arrangements for the post-security sections. It also has a significant share of the pre-security food and beverage offerings and recently signed an additional concession agreement to increase its footprint at Sangsters to include the Bob Marley One Love food and lifestyle experience, which should be complete with photo opportunities into Bob's life and travels. Now, looking at the financials for Express. ECL's financial results over the period reflects recovery from the challenges associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. Given that the financial year for ECL ends in May, 2020 operations were not as impacted significantly by COVID, as a large portion of that year's revenue was earned prior to the lockdowns in March. The lockdown also occurred almost at the end of the winter tourist season, which would signal lower arrivals and lower tourists transiting through the airport. So you can see here in 2020, their revenues were still strong at 14 million US dollars. However, operations were then significantly impacted in 2021, with ECL forced to close operations for 3 months following the initial lockdown period, which would have run into the financial year for 2021. The company nonetheless received rent concessions in 2021 and 2022, which helped to soften the net losses following the pandemic. 2022 was, however, a much better year. So we see that the revenues went down here in 2021. 2022 was much better, which saw them bouncing back. And now we're going to look in more details at the results for 2022. The company achieved relatively good results with approximately 223% increase in revenues, moving from the 4.4 million US dollars in 2021 to the 14.2 million in 2022. We also saw where there was a approximately 228% rise in their gross profits from 2021 to 2022. However, the gross margin remained steady at approximately 65%, reflecting stable margin pressures. Total comprehensive income improved, moving to 1.1 million US dollars after suffering significant losses in 2021. Here you see they had negative 1.7 million. If we now look at the period, the 6-month period between 2022 and 2023, we see where improvements continued. The revenue increased by approximately 49%, moving from 6.1 million US to 9.1 million US. Gross profit was also up by approximately 49%. This movement from 3.8 million to 5.8 million. The gross margin, however, was also slightly improved, moving to approximately 64%, coming from 63% in the previous period, which shows that the company has marginally improved based on the direct costs that they face. The efficiency ratio also improved, moving from 52% here in 2022 to 44% in 2023. And this shows how well the company was able to control their expenses and shows another area where they improved for the 6-month period. If we look at the overall profits, we see where the total comprehensive income moved from 244,000 US dollars to 779,000 US dollars for the period, over 200% increase. This, of course, was driven by the reopening of the economy and the boom to the tourist sector in recent times. Their net profit margin also improved significantly, moving from 4.05% to 8.82%. And this shows excellent improvement, and it shows how much revenue the company translates into profit. And we see that that was almost doubled. Their earnings per share also moved from 0.015 US cents to 0.048 cents, highlighting increased value for shareholders. If we look briefly at the balance sheet now, we see where their assets grew by a small number, approximately 5%, for the 6-month period 2023 versus 2022. Under the assets section, we see that their property, plant, and equipment grew by 33%, and there was also significant growth in trade and receivables, up by approximately 125%. Their cash and bank balances also increased by 97%. The liabilities were fairly steady over the period. We see where the non-current liabilities fell by approximately 5%, led by their lease obligations, while their current liabilities grew by 35%. Significantly, the trade and payables section improved by 52%, contributing to that growth in the current liabilities. Shareholders' equity, we see that their preference shares were redeemed previously, and so in this quarter, there were no preference shares on their books. Their retained profits went up, and so shareholders' equity increased by approximately 66%, moving from 2.48 million to approximately 4.1 million. When we look at the price chart, we see that when ECL listed initially in 2017, they listed at $1.50, and we see where there was marked improvement in their stock price leading up to pre-COVID times. The stock went as high as $9. However, after COVID-19, the stock price plummeted to as low as $2.90. Since then, we have seen some increase general increase where the stock price has moved up, but for the past quarters, it has remained in the band of about $4 to $6, currently trading now at $4.77. So it's fairly steady post-COVID. In terms of valuation, ECL currently trades at about 32 times, that's a PE, and we expect that if things continue on this current trajectory, the PE should continue to normalize. Notwithstanding, when we compare ECL to the junior market average, the stock price appears a little bit on the high side, given the current junior market PE, which is currently about 9 times. Now we look at the future outlook for ECL. Our outlook for ECL is fairly positive. When we look at Jamaica's GDP figures, we see where there was a huge uptick in the hotels and restaurants segment in the last quarter 3, largely resulting from increased foreign national arrivals to Jamaica. For quarter 2, 2023, for ECL, there was a 49% increase in passenger count through Sangster's International Airport and a 14% increase in the spend per passenger rate as more persons went through the airport, which is great for ECL. Pre-COVID times, about 4 million passengers transit through Sangsters. However, in 2021, that went down to about 2.6 million. But for 2022 and for 2023, the figures are improving, and we expect them to continue growing as such. This is supported by figures from the Jamaica Tourist Board, which show that up to October 2022 of last year, total visitors to Jamaica was already 134% greater than the comparable period in 2021. So we are seeing where the sector is recovering at an even faster rate than anticipated, and now the Ministry of Tourism is even projecting that Jamaica is expected to meet the updated growth targets of about 5 million visitors even before the previously projected 2025 timeline. So the positive state of tourism locally and internationally bodes well for ECL's continued investments, expansion, and growth potential. Currently, ECL expects that, having already started their expansion work at Sanchez International, they should be complete by the first quarter of this year. And before, they mainly catered to persons departing, but now they are expanding to include the general public and the arrivals meet and greet area. They are also considering opening local outlets of the brands that ECL operates. So you may be able to go to Halfway Tree or New Kingston and get your Aunt Annie's or your Cinnabons. So that is great for ECL and great for potential investors. However, there are some risks to ECL's operations. One of the major risks is the possibility of an economic downturn, which could potentially stifle the current tourism boom. We know that it's a very cyclical industry, and if incomes go down, one of the first things that persons may want to cut is their traveling, their leisure. So if something like that happens, it could significantly negatively affect ECL. Additional risks include high commodity prices. Prices are currently trending low, but if anything happens on the world market and they start to go up, anything could happen. High shipping costs, high labor costs, given that we have a currently tight labor market, and any general supply constraints which stem from, for example, the geopolitical tensions between Ukraine and Russia and other economic factors could challenge ECL's operations. However, with their exclusive arrangement that they have with Sanchez International and their continued focus on improving and expanding offerings, as well as the potential to grow their consumer base outside of the airport, so to include local franchise outlets, and even looking at going into the wider Caribbean, we expect that the outlook should remain positive as a lot of their risk would be mitigated. So we expect good performance going forward. So in summary, based on their current performance, the market conditions, the expansion activities that they are currently undergoing, and the general outlook on the company, we believe that ECL offers value to investors and an interesting future given current developments, and is definitely a company to look further at while you rebalance your portfolios in 2023. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that analysis, Faye. Great analysis. I see you have some company there in the room. Yes, Express Catering is one of those companies. We've never had them on the show. And based on your presentation, I feel like we should get an opportunity to talk to them sometime soon about what their expansion plans are. Very interesting company. But you're right about the risks, because we see what happened to them in COVID, during COVID, when airports were shut down and so on. Marlene says we need more healthy food options, all these diabetes risk food. So something for them to consider as well.
Definitely.
It seems like my internet has finally stabilized. Now when the whole excitement done, internet stabilized and things seem to be running smoothly. David, you've been looking at NCB and what's going on with NCB. Their profit has actually taken a dive. I saw you wrote an article about it. They saw their first quarter net profit attributable to shareholders slide by 68%, which is a big number. So tell us why. What's going on?
Yeah. So NCB Financial Group's banking and wealth business, which is really, like NCB Capital Markets, NCB Jamaica, like that had an improvement year over year in terms of net result. It was the issue on the insurance side. So on the insurance side, they had a significant reserve strengthening in their actual reserves. And all this means is that at the start of the year, a projection was made, and at the end of the year, based on what the actual results are and what is understood at the moment, the company can in this case decide to reserve more capital for future liabilities. So as a result, it comes as an expense on the income statement. When you hear about an actuarial reserve release, for example, like Sagicor Group Jamaica has it in their quarterly reports, that is usually a reversal. So it actually reduces the expenses in that context. So in the case of Guardian, they're about a $3.1 billion actual adjustment. And that just speaks to the life and health side of the business. So it's really for the life and pension side of the business that you see actual reserve strengthening or releases in the context of insurance companies. And I specifically say life, health, and pension. On the general insurance side, Guardian is facing, the similar headwinds that a lot of other persons are facing and a lot of companies are facing. So for example, we're seeing right now whereby Guardian General here in Jamaica is giving quotations for property renewals at 50% higher than last year's quote. So if you pay, for example, $100,000, you're being quoted $150,000 now for your quote, which is a pretty steep increase for many people. So even if you're going to consider, insurance financing or, that kind of approach to short the payments, it's the more you have to pay at the end of the day. So because of that reduction due to the actuarial adjustment, NCB Financial Group's profitability significantly declined. This doesn't mean that the quality of the financial group actually declined, but based on how accounting works, the earnings itself had a significant decline. And because of the current reality that's facing a financial group such as NCB, they decided to actually not pay dividends for the 7th consecutive quarter. It's like a running joke at this point. When you don't ask if NCB is pay a dividend, it's expected at this point. And they've highlighted clearly that the reason why they are actually being very deliberate in holding more capital on their books is because of 2 key regulatory accounting changes. So on the banking side, Jamaica is going to see the implementation of Basel III, which is, a regulatory standard set up by the International Settlement for Banks. And that standard is going to basically require banks to hold more capital on their books based on the adjusted calculations that go into calculating the capital requirements for banks, right? So in the case of NCB Jamaica, as the largest commercial bank in Jamaica, they're going to likely see a higher amount of capital be needed to keep some reserves to actually meet those new regulatory standards. And even at the NCB's AGM, Financial Group AGM, the CFO of NCB Jamaica and even the deputy CEO of the financial group said that, Basel III is a major thing that's going to impact the financial system. And why is it so significant? So when banks have to keep more capital on book for, capital requirements, it means that there's less capital to be lent out. So reserves are a good thing, such that if there's a negative event, that the bank can respond and still be in operation. However, it means that there's less capital to be lent out in the form of loans. So as a result, it potentially means that there's going to be higher cost for loans, or just reduced loans being given in that reality. So NCB Financial Group is still and the second major change is with respect to how insurance contracts are calculated. So there's IFRS 4, which was the standard. IFRS meaning International Financial Reporting Standards. That was the standard used up to the end of 2022. As of January 1, there's been a switch to IFRS 17, which streamlines the way to report insurance earnings. And as a result, there's a significant cost to changing that standard, and also a expected change in how reporting occurs, also for capital requirements and so forth. So right now, NCB Financial Group, even though it's a significant jewel and strong entity, it still faces the reality that any other company in a regulated space would face, which is in this case, regulatory accounting changes that impact the ability to do certain things. So right now, NCB Financial Group stock price took a new 52-week low recently of since $2 and a penny last Tuesday. And for context, the price hasn't been that low since July 2017. And
Wow.
for context, NCB Financial Group peaked at $249 back in July 2019. So, you know, you can really get some context as to how shareholders are impacted. It's a lack of dividends, also, the decrease in the stock price, and just the reality that it's going to be some hard times for financial companies. And, even if your other banks, which are part of financial groups, are, not seen as a significant hit right now, some of them are putting higher provisions for potential loan losses. And, Basel 3 is that big event that everybody's preparing for. So right now, NCB financial shareholders are going to just potentially continue to feel that impact of no dividends and just a lower stock price. These many companies need what is right and in the best interest of survival, but at the same time, it kind of hurts to think about the reality where inflation is high, there's no cash from these assets, so I need to rebalance my portfolio, and that's just what's going on in a sense.
Wow. So I see Sonia. Was it Sonia? No, Elaine actually was saying NCB to $50. Why would you call that, Elaine? I don't.
That's a
I don't know if you're
dangerous thing,
saying
by
that
the way,
as a good thing
Nakalila.
or a bad thing.
That's a dangerous thing.
Depends on which
That's a
side of
very
the fence you
dangerous.
are.
That's a very dangerous thing for two reasons. One, a lot of persons borrow against NCB Financial Group stock. So when you take up margin loans, the lower the price goes, the smaller the space there is for the broker to quote unquote potentially recover money if they need to sell the stock. So the stock price going lower impacts not just some persons' ability to just get the stock at a cheaper price, but also impacts persons who have loans outstanding against NCB shares. And it also impacts the valuations and portfolios of pension funds and other entities like Sagicor Select funds.
Yes.
So Sagicor Select funds is taking a nasty beating right now because NCB Financial is their largest asset. There's no dividends coming from that. So, Select fund shareholders are feeling it in a sense. So for NCB Financial Group to go to $50, that would have a serious impact on many wavefronts. So some persons are a little bearish because that is what they want to acquire NCB for, like in the good old days of 2016 and 2017. There's some serious implications for many parties in Jamaica and potentially overseas.
Yes, very, very big implications there. Couple questions for you, David. So one, is it that, and you explained it. So are you saying that the reduction in profitability due to this thing with Guardian, that this was a one-off thing and this is not going to recur?
So although the event itself is one-off, meaning that it won't repeat like another $3.1 billion next year, the reality is you do not know, well, just from a certainty perspective, as if they're going to have an actual strengthening again next year. Because based on what they determined at the start of the year and the change assumptions at the end of the year, or based on the current expectations, there could be another strengthening next year on this period. Because for context, the reason why Guardian strengthening impacted NCB's financials at this particular time is that because Guardian's financial year ends on December 31, NCB Financial Group's financial year ends on September 30. So as a result, when Guardian did their strengthening, which is in their fourth quarter, it spilled over into NCB's first quarter. Had it occurred in the financial year for NCB Financial Group, it wouldn't have been quote unquote as obvious or noticeable to that perspective.
Understood. And the second question relating to the Basel standard that NCB is going to be implementing, is that is NCB the only Jamaican financial institution that's going to be implementing that standard, or will it go across the banking sector? Because you mentioned the implications of it being that we're going to have some more capitalization, less money available for lending. Is it NCB alone that will impact, or the rest of the sector too?
The rest of the sector. So in NCB Financial Group, Clarion Bank, which is based in Bermuda, they've already implemented Basel III, and they have a different market. But in the case of NCB and their other commercial banks, it's going to have a significant impact, especially as the continued assessment of how the standard will impact the minimum capital requirements for different banks. So it's a entire sector thing. And I said it to just, all the commercial banks alone. This also impacts the other DTIs, meaning deposit taking institutions that lend as well.
Understood. Well, thank you so much for the information, guys. Really a pleasure having you as usual. And producers, get to work. We need to get Express Catering on the show and see what
Contact
their
Ian there.
plans
Contact Ian
are.
there.
I think we have his number. I'm almost sure I have his number. So yeah, we're gonna work on that for maybe next week or sometime in the near future. Hopefully they say yes, because this sounds like an exciting company to learn some more about. Thank you once again, David, and thank you, Faye.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Good night, Khalida.
That's it for the analysts.
This segment of Taking Stock, the Analysts, was brought to you by Jamaica National Group. We'll help you find a way.
All right, welcome back. So unfortunately, we still don't have your market recap. What we're going to do is post it on the YouTube channel, hopefully sometime tonight. And we'll also have it in the newsletter tomorrow morning. So once you get that newsletter, market recap will be right at the top of your newsletter. So you can see your top performing, worst performing stocks, foreign currency, cryptocurrency, gas prices, a bunch of stuff that we have in market recap right now. Let me close out by taking some of your final comments. Let's see. Elaine says inflation is the biggest criminal in the financial world. Just thief your money. Just right so. Oren says too much drama going on with banking with fraud, etc. Don't know which one to trust these days. Just have to choose the best of two evils. I'm not gonna say which ones you say are evil. Scotty says he who understands it gets it. Do your research, in response to somebody else earlier in the comments who was saying that investing, not interested in investing. That was explicit. Let me say what he said. I'm not investing in anybody who's already rich. Let them use their friends and their own money. They're not taking mine and filing for bankruptcy. So I guess explicit is one of those who has been negatively affected, or at least the perception by the whole SSL drama that is going on. But other people remain with it. So Lordette says that's a backward thinking mentality. Elaine responding that you have the wrong idea of what investment is, and so on and so forth. Let me see what else we have. A few more comments as well. Marlene says that's the risk that they knowingly take. And Lanesra says, I will never do margin loans. Never say never, Lanesra. You never know what happens in the future. Elaine is saying Fosrich needs that rights issue. Come on, Fosrich. It's probably come on FSC at this point. FSC has their hands full. They have to approve all of these rights issues and APOs and everything that's going on. George wants to know, when will RPL financials come out? When did RPL list? Just check when they listed. They probably should be having their financials coming out anytime now. Yeah, so just look it up. And George saying FESCO numbers look great. Elaine agreeing that FESCO is on fire. All right, interesting. So thank you so much for joining us yet another week. And David says that it will be out by March 1. Those are the financials for for RPL should be out by March 1. So in another couple of weeks, you should be seeing what RPL is going on with, and we'll get to see their first, I think, would it be their first financial statement since they listed? Would it, David? I think so. I don't recall seeing any before. But yeah, stay tuned. So tomorrow, if you're not on the newsletter, make sure you get on the newsletter at KalilaReynolds.com/newsletter so you can see the market recap. It also shall be posted to YouTube tonight, so you get that in full. And I'll see you again, guys, next week. So let's get this money. See you later.
Let's get this money.